Hey, what's up, you guys? Back with another exciting episode brought to you by Play2win for Shut Titans. And today's episode, we're going to go back to helping the F2P newbie-friendly players. And so in this video, in regards to a conversation we're having in Discord, we talk about a few methods to help the F2P players circumvent the issue that you have with losing gear, repair kits, lack of gems, and re-rolling. So, getting started, I've already got our characters created. I have chosen for us one of each of our free character classes. Oh yes, the fighter, the thief, and the mage. Soldier, whatever. And we're going to go ahead and get started with our equipment. Now, the good thing about, and the most important thing, is you want to focus on damage when it boils down to. So, it should automatically link some of the items you have. Whatever you can afford, by all means, go ahead and get it. And for this, we could probably stick with some of the basic items. But as you can see here, certain items are just relatively simple. I can start out immediately with a decent legendary weapon for the price of gold. If you ever have trouble getting gold this early in the game, then just go ahead and focus on turning in your materials that you get from your quests. Those materials alone will pay for these easily. Since the materials for a lot of higher levels usually buy them on the markets and buy them out very quickly, so they will sell very quickly. So we can definitely start them out with a basic legendary club. It only costs us some gold. Let's see what else we got. What else costs some gold? Well, that breastplate, it costs some gold. Now, for fun's sake, let's just say weapon. Let's just use the weapon. And we got it for gold, so it's replaceable. We don't care if we lose it, right? No big deal. And of course we have our thief. Thieves, go ahead and pick up yourself one of these tier 1 legendary builds. It is a chest loot item that F2P players can get, but they are relatively cheap for 2 gems on the market at cheapest. And a little bit, if you do take a little bit of time, you can usually find them for gold as well. So, weapon. Since your thief is probably going to be your heaviest DPSer next to your mage, you can also splurge a little bit if you want to. Get him in a ring, make one, you can use a basic ring for all we care. And since basic it is, let's go ahead and get it. Again, we're just going for bare minimal here. The mage. The mage is always, again, going to be the wand. You can pick up the wand again. These things will usually sell by themselves for 2 gems a pop. The wands are going to be the best for the mage. 3 gems right now. My bad. 3. And if you're having trouble getting those gems, trust me, it's not that hard to get a couple gems. A couple gems are relatively easy. It is very F2P feasible. And again, if you spend a little bit of time or put in a request, eventually you will get a baton. And again, we'll go ahead and take a basic. And since, again, he is a spellcaster, he can definitely use some of these spell scrolls. You definitely want to get yourself one. As you can see here, they are for sale for gold price. Again, you will not have issue getting 20,000 gold. I know for some people it may seem a lot for you newbie players, especially if they're doing this F2P video for newbies. This is easily, it'll take just like a few resources from this level. Like you do one quest, you'll have enough to afford this by selling your excess materials on the market. Players will buy them at max price, for that matter. But let's just say you don't want to get a legendary. Let's just say you get a basic one. You make it yourself. As you can see here, they're even selling for 2 gems there. I might as well just have bought that legendary version for gold, even though it's already gone now. Too late. So what would you prefer, a basic for 2 gems or legendary for 2 gems? We'll get this one. Doesn't really help me with the holy, but, I'm going for the concept of gold, not gems. So as you can see here, I'm focusing all of my DPS. So let's see where our guys stand. The scores are approximately about 300 across the board. Jump over to our maps. Give it a moment. And we're going to jump into our first level. And as I said before, the concept is more for less. So you want more fights. Now, eventually you're going to have your champions as well, so once you do get your champions, it shouldn't be too much. As you can see here, our thief, she'll definitely survive. Our soldier may not survive. And our mage will definitely survive. Green faces say definitively, that's still iffy. Let's say the boss gets critical. Now, this is, of course, me not putting any sort of armor on them. I just picked up what was ever available in the market for the gold prices I possibly could. So, this is about as F2P as it gets, free to play. And we're limiting their equipment. We can always switch out of champions. Since champions don't lose equipment, they're also a good substitute for characters, but we're going for min-max. And as you can see here, 6.5 minutes. Easy mode, 6.5 minutes, first stage. Guaranteed level, let's get to it. And for time's sake, I'm going to do something that isn't F2P, but this is just to show y'all what free is capable of. And of course I get against a legendary guy. Ugh, that's lovely. A perfect legendary boss just appeared. He dropped a key and a chest. Let's see what the F2P reward would have been. Now, as you see here, only one level easy mode, and they all shot up to 3. That was just one level easy stage, 6.5 minutes, and they all shot up to 3. Now, that was RNG who gave me a legendary boss. They do get more experience. But as you see, as long as I had those legendary weapons and I focus, and as I said before, yes, keys can come in the form of not requiring that extra slot. It is possible. And this just proved the point. Now, I did fight against a legendary boss. Those do have an increased chance of dropping keys, but you can run into these bosses, even in easy mode. There's nothing stopping it from happening. So our guys did a little bit of leveling. They're now capable of a better weapon. And since we already have a weapon, if it wasn't destroyed that battle, we would have to repair it if we didn't have it. But now that we got a key, the definition of exactly what we were going for is using those keys in order to get the items you need, like repair kits, ascension scrolls, hopefully. And in this case, just some tokens. But since you're going to be able to do these every 6.5 minutes, and depending upon how many characters you have, depending on how far you get along F2P, you can have anywhere like, singles just running by themselves, especially if you get a decent enough gear hooked up to them at some point, so a fully equipped unit at that. But let's just say you don't want to bother. Let's say your character died. If your character dies at this point, since they are free, there's no sense in, waiting for them to, rest. Retire them. You can easily retire them and start them all over since they are free. There really isn't a loss there. Now, they are level 3, and I believe for level 3, the easy stage isn't going to technically be enough for them to get another level. I think we have to go towards medium. They're all happy faces, but as you can see here, that's not enough experience to get to the next level, and that would be the ideal method, is to get to the next level first. So continuing the run, we can run it for 12 minutes and get to the next level, which will get us towards our next step. And as you can see here, they still have pretty happy faces. I could equip them with some better equipment right now, tier 2 if I really wanted to. Again, as F2P, you want to try to stick with gold pricing, so gold priced. And the problem with that is, even with this, is that bow is actually a pretty decent bow for him to use. It's going to be difficult to find something that's better that's going to cost gold. The kunai knife. Thieves actually get a boost from knives, which is a plus. And as you can see here, it's only 2 gems, which is not too shabby. Unless you're paying 2 gems every time this thing breaks, which would suck. This one, however, is gold. Bam. Next. Tier 2 sword would definitely be best. He's not a very damaging player. And Spike Cudgel is probably going to be your best bet. It's a little bit more expensive, 40,000 gold. Seems, again, real steep, but it is a gold price. This means F2P capable and obviously purchasable. And then finally, our mage. Getting a new wand of a higher tier for less gems is going to be a little bit more difficult. Wands are definitely a sought-after item after that point. So as you can see here, the price definitely went up. We can, however, still go for the gold price. And now he is capable. And since we want damage, damage is your main focus here. Defense is not as needed per se. It's helpful, but not as needed. As you can see here, I have no trouble finding equipment for gold pricing for easily replaceable. Even this one, look, a legendary gold price, no issue. Now we're going to go ahead and continue to, minimize gold. Now, this person keeps still, this is because it's the tank. He has the most threat. And because of that, he's going to take more damage and more shots at him from the enemies. That stated, you probably want to give him maybe a little bit of defense. And we'll start with just the shield. That should be enough, right? Nope, still not quite enough. Still looks pretty unhappy, doesn't she? Well, then let's see what else we need. How about health? Health is a good way to get yourself up there a little bit higher. Still, gold pricing, definitely feasible. And better. Green happy faces across the board. We're still playing F2P. And this isn't, again, F2P basics, but I am going to rush this along just so we can move this video along and continue the lesson. Boss is here. 1 shot. 2 shot. 3 shot. Ooh, that mage. See, this is what I mean. Damage, it's all about the damage. That mage is definitely going to be dishing it. And level 4. Where we learn... Oh, this guy learns his first skill. They get their skills a little bit sooner than... That's their innate ability. Getting skills sooner. And we got a chest. Very good for those that actually sell for about 10,000 each for those that don't want to keep them. So they're actually helpful if you ever need to replenish your gold supply for lower levels. And finally, our final battle, the 5th skill, or the first skill, the 5th level. Now, as you can see here, final one is we're going to again step it up one more. And we do have a problem. It requires 450 minimal power. That means that we actually need to attach a little bit more to our guys, which isn't too bad. Again, if we're F2P, we're sticking to gold, easily purchasable off the market or craftable for any F2P player. You can stick with just basic craftables. You don't have to equip enchantments. You don't have to equip anything extravagant. You just want to equip with what you can afford. And of course, you can hold on to these pieces as you re-roll your characters and re-roll a new set. So let's go ahead and give our guys some basic equipment. You can stick to just basics if you really want to. Like quite literally, bottom basics. In fact, I am curious if I just stuck with only the basics. Ugh, they're gonna charge me gems? Who charges gems for basic armor? Ugh, that's retarded. I guess nobody's selling them for gold. Alright, that's not gonna work, so we're gonna have to use this for now. Nope, apparently I already had some enchanted items on me. I was trying to equip all my enchanted stuff. I don't want it to be enchanted. Since we are on tier 2, we'll go ahead and give him a tier 2 bracelet. Whatever is gold. Gold! Let's go ahead and get him some tier 2 as well. As you can see here, some people get ridiculously overly priced, but Legendary is completely capable. There's plenty of them for sale. These robes are actually very... Lower tier items like these, you'll find them plenty in abundance for dirt cheap. Like, gem prices at this price are just ridiculously cheap. Cheapest gold's going to be you. And there we go. Mage is now set. And finally, our tank. There's the gold price. Now, I'm not going to have to replace every single piece of gear every single battle. Occasionally, you might lose a piece of gear. No big deal. The idea is you want to make sure that you're only spending gold on these gears. And as long as you're only spending gold, you shouldn't have too many issues. And set. Well, they're kind of yellow and happy, but they will get their level if they make it. Let's give it a shot. Now, it does look like I am out of gem at the moment, so let's give it a pause, and we'll be back in 13 minutes. And we're back. Final battle, see what our skills show up as, and see if we're going to be re-rolling our little F2P freebie players. Well, this one got a little bit more health, but as you can see, that mage has no problem slapping him around a little bit. And it may seem our fighter might have a little trouble dying. There's a nice little critical right there. We need to survive one more round. Up, we made it. Ta-da! Congratulations, you have hit level 5. The goal, the point of re-rolling for F2P. Not a skill I would want. You know, with a guy that already has a huge boost to his daggers already, this skill right here is not a bad skill for him to have. And you already got your first skill since you get him early. And sadly our chest is sitting over here, and if you are an FTP, you probably don't have that slot open, so you wouldn't get it. But that's okay. You got what you wanted. You got your characters rolled. And it didn't take nothing but F2P. No special enchants. Yeah, some of the gear looks legendary. It's, you know, but we paid gold for it for the most part. Everything was gold. It's all F2P. No gems, no anything. So if you lose your equipment, you know, no big deal. It's not going to break all your equipment at once. Replace them one piece at a time. And, you know, locking into place is not too hard. And if you don't like your character, maybe you got a crappy skill like this experienced one, well, retiring him is not really hard. And since he was free, we can create him again for free as well. And this is what I mean. 25% boost with daggers. An additional 50% boost with daggers. If we actually enchanted these items, those would actually go a little bit higher. Significantly higher. So it would greatly increase his damage done with daggers. And since it would just make him really nasty. He can actually contend with a mage at that point on damage. So thieves are not really bad at all. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope this has been informative, helpful, and insightful in some sense or another. So, yes, F2P is feasible. It takes a little bit more patience, a little bit more diligence, and a little bit more annoying, but is possible. Are you up for the challenge? Well, take care. Y'all have a great day.